Well, thank you, Andy. Really appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem.
Say we saw the car that was parked over here for years, I think.
I never saw it.
We've driven up and down. Like, I know it's right here somewhere.
It was parked right there. I got it. We bought it for parts because the engine was complete, and I got it running. And we don't really need the body, so I put tags on it. And we drove it for a while. I don't know. For a year, we drove it pretty good. And it was sitting over there, and the town sent me a letter saying I had to
I kind of figured that's what
get rid of
what
it
had
or
happened.
move it.
Yeah.
What annoyed me more than anything
Yes,
about
yes.
it was that they said it was non-operational.
Oh, and it was.
And it was. That's more what irritated me.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
it needs a lot of work, but at the end of the day, we bought it for the engine and the trans.
You see, you have another one.
Yes, we have a 69. This is a 73. This one's the rubber bumper car.
Gotcha.
And the 69s and stuff, those have the metal bumpers, which they did these for the U.S. market for crash.
I was gonna say because like in England they were just chrome.
Yeah. But yeah.
Quite small.
It is. It's very small. Can I get in there, Jack?
Can I open the door?
You have to come over here. I think that one's stuck. But it's a little 4-cylinder.
A friend of mine had one of these. Had the V8 in it.
Oh yeah.
It's like it was the
Land Rover engines, weren't they?
Yes, which I think was a Chevy engine originally. I think
Yeah.
like a
Cool.
V-license or something. That's cool. And so this runs.
Yeah.
So you drove it here?
Yeah. Yeah. So they said it was non-operational. Like I said, that irritated me. So when we had the town cleanup the other day, we went and got the 50-year historical tag for it.
Gotcha.
And then right over there they had the town cleanup. So when I got done cleaning all my junk up, I decided I'd show them it was non-operational, and I drove it down there, and then talked to a couple of the guys on town council. I was sitting in it with it running, so
That's awesome.
it showed that it was definitely
It's
operational.
got the old British Leyland. I actually went to the factory that this was made in.
What's that?
I've actually been to the factory this was made in.
Okay.
They weren't making this when I was there. They made the Metro, which is a piece of crap car.
Yeah.
It's that's awesome, man. Thank you for letting us take a look at it. It's
Yeah.
That's awesome. We kind of weren't sure whether to start knocking on doors and asking, and like the worst you can say is no.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care. I can see if it'll start. I don't know. If it will.
Oh yeah.
But the other reason why we bought this car, not only just for the engine, but was for the hardtop.
I was gonna say that's rare too.
Yeah, that's rare. And it's a little bit of a procedure, but
Yeah, you're a big fella for this car.
I'm a big fella. I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get in. I'm 5'4".
You're almost the size of Lucy. It has massive headlights.
It's really cool. Like you don't see many of these around here. It's the only one I've seen.
You don't see many old cars.
And I think her father, he liked him because he was in the service somewhere, and they were in that area he was in or something like that. He said. And then I think at the end of the day, he was better at collecting parts than having the talent to put it together.
Well, that's why we're doing YouTube, to try and raise money to build the car we're building. Try it at least, you know. See if it turns over.
We'll see if she goes or not.
Running kinda.
It's turning over, it's not going to fire. I think you're out of battery maybe.
That's cool.
Told you it'd be worth it, didn't I? Most people are friendly.
It's out of battery.
It needs the battery.
Yeah, the battery's not very.
Oh yeah, cars need batteries. I forgot.
Yeah, it's cranking over real slow. Well, it ain't quite got enough juice. I think we can. Let's try that.
It kinda runs. I mean,
It's definitely not C's, that's for sure.
Smells good. Yeah, the engine is still.
Yeah, I think the battery's just a little too dead.
Yeah, that's all good though. Appreciate you trying.
Yeah.
It kind of starts.
Yeah, it's turning over a little. But, yeah. If you're into that kind of stuff, I'll take you in the garage and show you some of the other stuff I've
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, really it's a parts car, but, I mean, it does run and drive if the battery's good enough in it.
I totally believe you.
Yeah. But it's a fixable car, but it's just not it's not her dad's.
Got ya.
But,
So this is just the donor car for you.
this is the donor car. Yeah, we bought that for the engine and trans.
Is there anything in the trunk?
I just got a boat tank in there because the fuel tank was dirty. But,
That's cool.
Yeah, because I was just more interested in getting it running. All I had to do is run, and that's part of the reason why the battery ain't very good. Because it's running on jumper cables in the trunk.
Gotcha.
They just ain't getting the juice up there.
So the city's okay with you parking it here, but not out front.
I don't know.
Weird.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense. You know, they said it wasn't operational, it wasn't tagged. Well, it's tagged and it's operational, so I don't understand the point. But, you know, it's all about making stuff pretty, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But,
When we moved here, we were looking for a house. My wife's from here. But she wanted to live in like Country Club Hills. I'm like, no, too many people can stick their nose in my business.
right.
Can we come in? Awesome, man. We really appreciate your time.
Here in a little bit, I'm getting ready to paint this stuff. Yeah, I got it getting hot to get the metal temperature up on it. I just got to finish wet sanding this one side and I'll be spraying here after a bit. Just for a little short bit of Chevy.
Okay, I can say it's a Chevy.
Yeah, good old 86 C10.
Wow. Well, I know where to come when I need some paint done. Don't touch it, Jake.
Yeah.
You don't touch it.
What?
So what year is this?
86.
86.
And it goes to this truck over here. Just watch the cords here.
Don't touch nothing. Oh, beautiful.
So it's for this one here.
Is that the color it's going to be, like copper?
Exactly.
That's a beautiful color, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, this, I've been sprayed this stuff earlier when the weather was nicer. Over the past month or so.
So is this what you do for a living?
It was at one time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a mechanic now, but I was a body man for a long time. But
So do you know anything about rotary engines?
just enough, a little. Probably needs apexes.
Yes, yeah. So you know more than most. Wow, I think you can touch this one, Jack.
Yeah, you can touch this one.
Don't touch
But
that.
it's a pretty neat truck. It belongs to a friend of mine, and you know
It's a shiny
he
engine.
smoothed all the inner panels out,
Oh yeah, look at that.
and then smoothed the firewall and all that.
The
And
engine is really shiny.
yeah, so he's in the middle of cleaning it up, getting it back together. So I'm really wanting to. He just got the bumper on it yesterday. He said it needs some more alignment, which he's right, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's a good looking truck. He got it running pretty good a couple weeks ago, so he's really looking forward to messing with it.
That's cool, man.
And then this one here, this one's mine.
That looks like
Can you guess it?
Looks like a
very
very
low.
long car.
Oh, let's stand back here.
It's a long car. That's what it is.
It's a car.
It is a car. Not a,
I'm thinking some kind of Cadillac.
pretty close.
It's a long car.
Ford.
Ford?
It's a Ford of
That's
sorts.
better. Whoa.
Oh, I got a nice car.
Oh my goodness. Let's look at that. And he's my new best friend.
So a few years ago, I bought it, and it belonged to some lady over on Sugar Creek. I bought it from a guy who buys a lot of cars and estate sales stuff, and it's a 460 engine. I decided I'd drop it, but then I decided I didn't want to be stuck on speed bumps and stuff. So this is on air ride.
Wow.
So I built a air suspension for it, and it's on air. So like over here on the side, you can actually see the mud flaps on the ground.
Look at that.
It's so low.
Brilliant.
There's an area in there where the frame crosses over, where it'll actually hit, and that's what's hit the frames on the ground.
Gotcha.
Not so much in the back, but more right in the front. If I were to make the back go clear down, it would look funny anyway. It would break the wrong way.
It looks
So that's pretty much perfect the way it's set when it's aired out. So I started going to car shows and stuff with it. Did pretty good because it's a factory paint car, like 20,000 miles.
this original paint?
Original paint, yeah. I did a little bit of touching up on it here and there, but not very much. Air cruise, tail, it all worked. Man, I drove it. I put 3,000 miles on it one summer just going to car shows.
Can I see inside?
Yeah, go for it. You ever sat in a car like that? Gotta sit in it. Maybe it'd be like the fuel tank.
What is going on?
It's heater.
Oh. Actually, that's from my computer.
Thank you, Andy. I really, really do appreciate it.
Oh, go for it.
Nice.
What do you think?
I like it.
It's like sitting on a sofa.
It's really soft.
Stay in there a second.
But I had it where everything was working, and I had a lot of fun driving it. But the only thing I didn't like about it is it was slow.
Yeah, so it's a beast.
Yeah, it's big. Back then they had a lot of restrictions on horsepower and emissions and all that stuff. So if you see the little box right there on the floor, see the little black box?
Yep.
So I decided I'd change how fast it was. So that's a Mega Squirt.
Okay.
MS3.
Yep.
So I changed it over electronic fueling. So it's sequential fuel and fire now. And then
I'm so glad we stopped.
so you can see the air ride. So you
Yeah.
can see it, the tires right on the back of the fender.
That's what they call slammed, right?
It's as low as I can go without doing a lot of hacking.
Look at that.
I've never seen a car this low.
Never
So
seen
then
a
I
turbo
ended
that
up-
big.
Yeah, so then I ended up doing a turbo, fuel injection, and whatnot to make it faster. So
Yeah.
it's worked. I need a little bit more tuning on it. I really kind of just started tuning it, and then it knocked the tranny out of it, which I kind of expected that, but I figured it'd last a little longer than it did. Had a few other little hiccups along the way because it's running on that Mega Squirt. It's running on LS coils off a pickup truck, off
Okay.
a Chevy pickup. The throttle bodies for a Chevy pickup, the injectors are for like a newer Corvette. They're a bigger injector, like a 96 pound. And so that's the shutter, because those are actually,
Let's go.
they'll be down, but they run on vacuum, and vacuum holds them down. So then after it sets for a week or two, then
Yeah,
the vacuum depletes and they come up.
That's awesome.
Which they're not even hooked up right now because I was just in the middle of tuning it and all that stuff.
It
but-
looks like it's mean. You know what I mean? It's like an.
Oh yeah, that's why you can go to a lot of car shows and you can see a lot of stuff, but I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of 69 Camaros out there and Chevy C10s. Not that I don't like them,
Yeah.
but I was looking for something a lot of people don't have, and it's weird.
I've never seen one of these.
Right.
I've never seen one of these, period, but certainly nothing slammed like that.
Right. So
I've seen one of these ones.
yeah, So I wanted something big, weird. I'm a
Yeah.
big guy, so
Right.
man, that thing's pretty nice to hop in and go somewhere. That thing loves cruising 80, 90 mile an hour.
That's why I wanted to get. I wanted something different. And I couldn't afford. And I don't have the skill to do this kind of stuff either. That's why I went with the Rotary because I kind of knew it was something special, you know. And when they're good, they're great. And when they're not good, they're just the worst. But they got a ton of power for what you get. It's 1.3 liter.
This car at the time when I bought it wasn't expensive. It wasn't an expensive car. I bought it for under $3,000.
Wow.
You know, some of that I looked for it for several years to find the right one that I wanted.
It's amazing, man. That's awesome. I'm gonna sit in it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people really liked it. It did pretty good at some shows.
I've never seen a car this low. It's so low.
Well, I don't get any lower now.
My
It won't
shoe.
roll. But it's low enough right now, it won't even roll. You got to tear the suspension up in order to get it to move.
These like boost gauges up top here.
Those are for the air ride.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see them or not. They're double needle. There's a black needle and I think a red needle or orange needle.
Yeah.
So what those double needles indicate is one's front and one's back, and like left and right. So one gauge is front with two needles, left and right bag.
Okay.
The other one's for the rear, left and right bag.
Handle is weird.
But you end up with about 100, I think it's about 100, 120 pounds to raise the front, about 40 in the rear.
It's really not too bad, is it?
No, not too bad.
What's this?
I think that's just to open it.
This is
That's just to grab handle, yeah. We got no frame. Look at that.
What's that?
No frame. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's all hard top. And then some of this one is broke over here, that back window.
Oh, that goes down
glass,
too?
Those actually roll down.
Oh yeah.
There was an option. Some of the cars did it, and some of them didn't. I'm pretty sure this one did because I found some hardware in the glove box, but I've never messed with them to try to make them work.
A friend of mine had an Opal that had the same kind of pillows and had those windows in it too. I think,
Okay.
I think it
One
was
of
a
those
Spanish
GTs?
made. It was a Spanish made car. I can't remember the name. Opal something. It was a 70s car.
Yeah.
But that was kind of cool. The gas tank was behind the number plate.
Yeah, and that's how this one is.
Yeah.
I've also
okay.
never seen a car with a Roman numeral clock in it.
Well, I mean, this car in '78.
Well, that's an actual clock.
This is really one of the
Yeah.
last big two-door sedans under hardtop. This is one of the last ones. Yeah, this was really one of the last ones where they made a car that big. I mean, this was right after the fuel crunch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And most people, they didn't have the money. I mean, this was an expensive car back in the day.
Look at that hood. That's as long as my car.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, my Dodge out there, a long bed extended cab, this is about a foot and a half shorter. I mean, because that car's, it's up against the wall.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much up against the wall.
It is. It's a cruising machine.
And it does good at it. It'll throw on the highway and it'll run real nice. It's fun to set the cruise at 80. She'll just roll.
I bet you get some lux in this thing.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's done. It's won classes. Best in show at one little car show. They had two picks. They did like a combined. It was at a drive-in, and the lady who owned the drive-in, she picked one car, and then the guy who put the show on, he picked another one, and he picked this one.
Now you're gonna keep like the original paint and stuff.
Yes, that was the idea. Yes, I want to try to keep the outside as original as possible. That's when I wanted to try to do something with it as far as to try to make it a little faster. I thought, well, it would be kind of fun and different, and I do like to tinker and experiment with stuff. So doing the turbo and learning how to build that computer and all that it was a lot of fun and a lot of learning too.
Yeah. That's where the fun's at.
That's where the fun's at. Yeah, right. But then I got sidetracked on doing other stuff. This will be the third one since 17 that I've done for other people.
Huh.
You know, and then last year I didn't even mess with this. I started playing with the boats. But yeah, I enjoy it. This year I want to get this one back out again. I had it out, I think in 19, 20, I didn't mess with it at all. It's there right there, all 20.
Yeah, it was a sucky year.
Yeah, it was a sucky year.
So did you work for yourself, or
No,
who did you work for?
I work for Byrider.
Okay. That's awesome. All right, Andy, thank you so much, man. We're gonna get your hair.
Okay.
Can I take a couple more shots of the MG before I go?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll give you a card as well before we go.
All right.
Brilliant, man. I'm so glad we stopped.
This one's cool. For some reason, I just like it. It's small. And for some reason, it's illegal. Why do they care if it looks nice?
I don't know.
All that matters is that it works, and
Right?
is this classic paint too?
Yeah, probably.
Because it's all peeled. I can't believe the engine actually kind of starts. Why is it rubber?
I'm not entirely sure.
Wasn't it metal in England?
Yeah.
I want to sit in it, kinda. Such a nice car. Except that the paint is peeled and stuff, but still a really nice car. Is it a convertible?
It is, but that's a hard top.
But does it still come down?
I'm sure it comes off, yeah. It's super cool.
They're very cool.
All right, let's go home and we'll get Andy a card here. So that was Andy. It was really awesome of him to let us through his shop and see his project cars. If you'd like to support the Rori Project in our project car, please feel free to click the link in the description below and buy a cup of tea merch. Peace.